Could you have imagined, as you were constructing the bid to host the regionals in Bridgeport, that it would come together like this season, where at this point, which is very late in the regular season, there's a legitimate shot, and this is not a hope, that there is a legitimate shot that if teams do as they've been doing all year, Yale would project there.
Yeah, when we did it, we talked to the coaches and the players. This started way back when Tim was our head coach, Tim Taylor. In fact, in a couple meetings, we laughed and said, "Hey, Tim, no pressure, but we'd like to be there." And the minute Keith came on board, we said the same thing. And the players have been pointing to this, and Keith has been pointing to this. And I remember talking at the press conference in Bridgeport about 4 or 5 months ago, and somebody asked, "Do you think you have a legitimate shot to be in the tournament?" And the answer was absolutely. We knew this team was competitive, and we just needed to have things go the right way, and they did. So yeah, we knew we could be there. We haven't gotten there yet. There's a lot of hockey left. There's still 8 points on the table in the league, and then there's playoffs. And as you know, the RPI and the pairwise goes right up until the end of the playoffs. So it's moving, kind of like the stock market. It's moving every day. But we're hoping that we finish strong and see where it lands us.
Well, Yale's stock is high on the ice this year, but just getting the bid shows that the hockey community thinks Yale's stock is pretty high in general, regardless of the win-loss record of a team in any given year. And in 2004, I guess, was kind of the start of things, with Yale hosting the Women's Frozen Four in Providence, Rhode Island, at the Dunkin' Donuts Center. And then after that, and that went well, I can say from seeing it firsthand, then this regional was announced, and it's this 2009 regional and also 2011, which Yale is co-hosting with Fairfield University in Bridgeport. Give us a little bit of a window. I know you've been very busy in trying to get the things nailed down, but it's one thing to say a school is going to be hosting something, but what does that actually mean? What is Yale doing now, even before the tournament starts?
Well, things started last summer in our meetings, meeting with the Harbor Yard folks and the Fairfield folks. And you're basically running a tournament from scratch. You're basically coordinating everything that happens from the minute the teams hit the ground, if they're flying in or come in on the bus, the hotels, the rink, the locker rooms, the coordination of the ticket sales. So it's running a tournament from start to finish, and it takes a lot of people to do it. It takes a local organizing committee, which we have in Bridgeport, to run the Fan Fest, to make sure that the fans have the best experience they can have at the tournament. And ultimately our goal is to have the coaches and the players walk away and say, that was the greatest experience I've had playing hockey, because there are a number of teams that this may be their only NCAA appearance. So we want to make sure they walk away and say, wow, that was great. It was well run. It was fair, and we had a great time as well. So it's a lot of coordination with a lot of people.
And ticket sales have been going pretty well so far.
Ticket sales have been going great. We're over 3,100 all-session passes sold. We're ahead of what we projected. I think we're second in the 4 regionals. We're also Manchester, New Hampshire, Grand Rapids, Michigan, and Minneapolis, Minnesota are hosting. So I think we're second in sales, which is very good. And the thing that boosted us was the involvement with youth hockey. And we knew Connecticut and Long Island and New York were great youth hockey states, but we didn't know they would be this great. And they really have embraced the tournament and sold a lot of tickets. And you're going to see 1 million youth hockey kids with their jerseys there. And really, having this be the first time that it's come to Connecticut in history was really well noted by those groups of people, and they've really responded. It's been great.
Well, let's talk about youth hockey. Natural segue, because we talked about women's hockey, we talked about men's hockey, we've talked about Yale's hosting the NCAA regional. I don't think any school does more with youth hockey than Yale does, and you look at that, and even a few weeks ago, maybe about a month ago, I was at Ingalls Rink after a women's practice, and youth hockey teams took the ice. And who took the ice with them but C.J. Maritolo, who's the associate head coach of the men's team. So the youth hockey here is just as important as anything else.
Yeah, it sure is. We're one of the first youth hockey organizations in the country. C.J.'s father, you mentioned C.J., his father was one of the founders and longtime coaches there. And Yale Youth Hockey still has an award. That's the Carl Maritolo Award for people that spend their entire youth hockey lives in the Yale system. And that's a very prestigious award. which is given out each year. It'll be given out at the Colgate game at the end of the year. And I tell you, we give a lot to youth hockey, but youth hockey gives a lot back to us. And anytime you go in the rink and you see 200 Yale jerseys running around on kids and you see them high-fiving the players as they come on and off the ice, it's unbelievable the energy that they give us. And it's a great association, and I think the youth hockey kids love it, and they love the association with our players. And our players, when we do an event, even when they lose, they go out and they meet with the youth hockey kids, and I think it's soothing for us, and it's good. It's a great association, and I wouldn't change it for the world.
And the youth hockey kids and the Yale teams are going to have a renovated Ingalls Rink to be playing in. Already parts of it have been renovated, but I know the work is massive and still undergoing. And I was privy to get a private tour of, maybe a tour I wasn't supposed to be given, but I was given a tour of the underneath part from Foxy. So there, I just sold them out, Ed Maturo, the equipment manager. And it looks stunning. I mean, the size of this renovation, to me, when this is done, it is going to be incredible.
Yeah, what Yale has done is taken a landmark in the hockey world and turned it into a state-of-the-art rink. As you know, some of the things were very simple. The seats were replaned with the same boards that were there in 1958. The ice was lowered back to its original height, so the sight lines were made better. We had new concession stands, new bathrooms upstairs, and that will be continued downstairs. But probably the best part of it is the 14,000 square feet of new space that will be, and has been, as you said in your tour, has been constructed under the parking lot on the Mansfield side of the rink. It includes locker rooms, state-of-the-art training room with a skating treadmill, offices, video areas, and it includes some intramural and youth hockey locker rooms, so the public will be able to be very comfortable when they come in the rink. They've always loved skating at Ingalls, and they talk about skating out on the ice and seeing the banners and skating where the great Yale teams have skated. But now they'll be comfortable and be able to have locker rooms that are state-of-the-art, and a number of other things. I can't tell you what this does for the building, what this does for recruiting, and what it does for our players and our fans. And it's just a great thing, and the hockey community is really thankful to Yale for doing this.
Wayne, you've been at Yale for so long and been senior associate athletic director. Did you ever imagine being as involved in the hockey community as you are when you first set foot here? You've been chair of the NCAA Committee, which is a rotating position, but you had it a few years ago and been involved. You had baseball roots and were sitting on golf chairs. You love golf, but it's amazing to see how much hockey has become in your blood.
Yeah, it sure has. When I came here, I was a huge hockey fan. I'm from northern Vermont, right on the Canadian border, where hockey is very big. But I came here and started to get involved with the Yale program, and then kind of branched out to the league and worked on the executive committee for a number of years, and worked in the league workings of hockey. And then I was fortunate enough to be elected to the National Hockey Committee, which was great. To work on a national level with the great people that I worked on was wonderful, and ran the national tournament, crowned some great champions, and worked with some great people, and really learned how the system works and how the hockey community functions, how rules are changed, how selection criteria are established, and it's just been a great time for me, and it was good to be able to bring Yale to those tables, and I was first and foremost the Yale guy, and supported Yale hockey, and I think it was great for Yale hockey to be in those discussions. During that time, we weren't in the tournament, which killed me each year to go and not have Yale there, but to have this tournament coming up and to have the possibility of being there is thrilling as well. But all in all, it's been a great run. It's a lot of fun.
When people ask you about Yale hockey or talk about Yale hockey, what are you most proud of, and what do you try and convey to them, to those who might not know and want to know?
I think that's easy. I think the thing I'm most proud of is the types of athletes and coaches that I work with every day. Everywhere I go around the country, I talk to people that have been watching Yale hockey, and they see it as just a great organization, first class all the way. And I'm proud of those players and those coaches and the way they conduct themselves, win, lose, or draw. They're great people. They're great citizens, and I'm proud of everything that they do. And it's made it very easy to work on a national level coming from Yale, because there's never an instance where I have to cringe at something that happens. It's just been a thrill to work with those kids every single day and to work with our coaching staffs.
All right, well, thank you, Wayne. That's Wayne Dean, Senior Associate Athletic Director here at Yale. And remember, join us in the Pink Cause. More details at yalebulldogs.com.